May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC, Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, doing our part to help preserve the legacy of Shunryu Suzuki and those whose paths cross his, and anything else that comes to mind. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, free from economic hardship, and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So today we have a guest, Shamsul Bahari. Shamsul is from Malaysia. I live in Bali, and it's just a little hop over the ocean there to where he is in Penang, up in the north of Malaysia. And darn, if I'd known, we were there some years ago, or looked him up. But that still is possible. Anyway, I know Shamsul from Green Gulch Farm. And he has a pretty interesting tale, how he got there and what happened to him afterwards. And he's back in Penang. He was born there. And so look, just as, look, go to his website. You want to know about him? Just go to cheeseburgerbuddha.blogspot.com. cheeseburgerbuddha.blogspot.com. Yeah, and he's written a lot there. He's on Facebook, too. So when you hear the bell, if you're of such a mind, hit pause and meditate or whatever for as long as you wish. And when you're ready to come back, hit unpause. And we'll be here to hit the bell to end the meditation or whatever. And we'll give Shamsul Bahari a call.
Hello.
Hey, Shamsul. How you doing?
Hey, David. Long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, how you doing?
All right.
All right?
Yeah.
Bali suits you, huh?
Yeah. It's nice here. Yeah, we were up in Penang not that long ago. Well, 6 years ago or something.
Oh.
If I'd have known.
Well. known.
Yeah. And I was in Penang in 1988.
88, huh?
Yeah, that was great.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like, 25 years ago?
What were you doing here?
No, that's 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just traveling?
Well, that's when when Elon and I, that's right before Elon came over and we lived in Japan for 4 years. I'd been in Japan.
Oh, yeah. You moved for you.
Yeah.
I remember now.
I was living in Japan, but my son Kelly came over for 2 months and we went to Thailand. We went to Penang to get the visa. Thailand, that makes everything so hard. Like they said, there 15 days, you got to leave the country and come back. So I loved Penang. That was great.
Yeah.
How is it now?
Yeah. Pretty much the same. A lot of new buildings and stuff, but life is pretty much the same.
Oh, that's good.
A little more hectic, maybe.
Yeah.
When you were here, mostly it was more relaxed. Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how long have you been in Bali now?
Almost 10 years. 10 years in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're wearing sarong now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice here. It's not perfect, you know. It's certainly not what people think it is.
Maybe it's because we aged.
Yeah. Well, you know, travel
What you're
writing, it just tends to idealize places, you know?
Yeah.
And it sort of repeats the myths about them. And they tend to show the same sorts of idealized pictures and everything. But
Yeah.
listen, there's plenty online and plenty published about Bali. Oh my God. So, you can dig deeper if you want. We like Malaysia. We have friends in Kuala Lumpur and we've spent a little time there. Engaged Buddhists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That we know through Zen Center Connection, Buddhist Peace Fellowship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you up to in Penang these days?
Well, I still do some painting, you know, have shows once in a while. Pretty much kind of do nothing.
Well, look, I looked on your Facebook page. You got 2 Facebook pages. You've got Shamsul Bahari, friend, and then artist, and you've got the Cheeseburger Buddha blog. That's cool. Yeah, and you've written quite a lot of well thought out stuff there. And I'd see what you're up to. You're pretty well established as an artist there in Penang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
How long have you?
Yeah, but I'm doing a lot of inner development. I take care of my 2 kids. They take care of me. But I have a lot of free time, so a lot of meditating, a lot of, looking into, same stuff, but pretty much inwards more than outwards. So that's why I do nothing.
I completely sympathize. Yeah. Now, you were born in Penang, is that correct?
Born and raised, yes.
Yeah.
Then, sorry.
Yeah, tell me what happened. Tell me about it. What happened next?
I was born here. At 12, I moved to East Coast, Terengganu, on the east coast of Malaysia.
Yeah.
Kelantan, Terengganu. Yeah, I grew up there as a teenager. So I was adopted when I was born. I have a twin brother here.
Oh.
And my twin brother was raised by my family, and I was raised by my uncle, who raised me as a Buddhist for 12 years. Yeah. And I have a temple here that was originally why my grandfather came to do the painting of the murals inside the temple, Mahindrama Buddhist temple here.
In Penang?
So, yes, that's why I studied Buddhism as a child.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
But the rest of the family were all Muslims.
I wondered about that because, in terms of remembering you, but also in terms of what you're writing about now, you have a very sort of non-denominational, international flavor, So I want to say something about Buddhists in Penang. I've done Vipassana retreats here in Bali, and traditional ones. I mean, they have some that are a little more modern type, but I've done ones with Myanmar monks and, but, in the tradition. And there was a group of people, I think it was all guys, who came from Penang to this one retreat I was at, like a 10-day, 11-day retreat. And they were
Chinese
the
Muslims.
most serious sitters. They were, and I mean, they were really into it. Man, those guys didn't move. There was one guy who wouldn't get up for walking meditation. I saw him sit for hours without moving. And then, before it started and after it was over, they're all real nice guys and real easygoing. Of course, they want me to come up there and do a Vipassana retreat with them. God, I'm getting a little up in the years. I think they might kill me, but I really respected them anyway. Yeah.
They were mostly Chinese?
No. It's sort of hard to tell sometimes because people are mixed blood and stuff. But no, I did not get the impression. Were they, what do they call it?
Caucasian?
Were they,
Eurasian?
were they, Bumiputra?
Yeah. Bumiputras, Malays.
Yeah. I think some of them were Bumiputra, just like
really
normal. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
They were brown like me, pretty much.
Yeah, I think so. But I'd have to ask them. They didn't. I know a number of Chinese Indonesians, and they're a little distinctive,
Yeah.
And the Buddhists, there's sort of two types of Buddhists here in general, I think. There's the sort of family temple, Chinese family type Buddhism that, and then there's the people that are into Vipassana. And, the founder of the biggest Buddhist temple here, Bhante Giri, he's Balinese, but he went and studied in Myanmar, and he founded the temple here in like 73, and it was a big deal. The Dalai Lama came, and and they've had lots of retreats there. It's not a practicing temple. It's just a temple with a manager, really, and they'll have some nuns there. One nun's a friend. I like her. Runs the office, but they just have retreats, and they're really well funded. They have lots of statues, stupa and pagoda, and a lot of people, are a little offended. It's too much money going into it. It's a big tourist spot, but I enjoyed my retreats there. Anyway, so your uncle raised you as a Buddha. That was in Penang.
Yes. And then I moved to the East Coast.
And what happened then?
Where I was converted to Islam. The rest of my family were never Buddhist. They were all originally Muslim, but my uncle was the only one who refused to become a Muslim. See, originally, my uncle, my grandfather were all from Sri Lanka. And he came from, and my grandfather came from Sri Lanka to do that temple here, to paint the inner meditation hall and everything.
Oh, I want to see it.
I have a legacy here sitting right in my backyard of my grandfather's works.
Wow.
And my father was also from Sri Lanka.
Oh.
He was a gold, they called him goldsmith. They don't call him chori. Yeah, in the old days where they sit on their ass and start making jewelry out of a gold bar, pounding away and pumping the flame, with their leg and all this. But he was I would say master craftsman for jewelry. That's where my artistic talent comes from. I think my grandfather, my father. But he was, in a way, sadly enough, he was like a loser. He was drunk all the time. Same with my grandfather.
No, who was drunk all the time?
Both of them.
Well, that happens.
Their downfall.
Yeah.
So anyway, but we managed to break out of the shell and not that, But anyway, I was raised in the East Coast after that and became involved in the Muslim side of life, Like I was into the martial arts, Silat group adopted in. And so I did a lot of the Muslim style of meditation and so on, got support. Yeah. And then later on in my life, met my first wife and had a child and went to America.
What year was that? Oh, incidentally, I already sent you one happy birthday, but happy birthday again.
Thank you.
August 13th. That's my mother's. That's my mother's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or it was my. It was my mother's birthday.
If you don't mind, how old are you now?
I'm 78.
70. You're 3 years, 4 years older than me.
Yeah, you're 74.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And you did a lot. We did a lot. We did a lot in life, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we have earned.
Yeah.
Like the rites of passage.
Yeah.
Through the bad, good, and bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what year did you go to America?
74, I think.
All right, now 74. Had you? How much education had you had?
High school. Because I did not do well in the last final of they call it here, a school certificate.
Yeah.
Final, because I hated mathematics, and I never even I just wrote my name on the papers and slapped them, walk out twice in the finals. So I couldn't get through. I got only third grade, so I couldn't qualify for the university here. But when I was in America, and I worked for 3 years in the packing house and all in Green Bay.
Really? In Green Bay?
Yeah, that's where we headed for. My former wife was from Green Bay. Yeah, so I lived there 8 years.
Really?
But, yeah, I worked in the packing house in the beginning, after working cleaning the Lambeau football field and the Green Bay Arena, and then somebody got me a job in the packing house. For 3 years, I worked cutting meat and became a drunk and became everything else as bad as the cows I was cutting and all this. And then suddenly lost my wife, my kid, became totally obnoxious, And a friend of mine was living in the apartment, got a hold of me and said, "Why, you're a brilliant guy, why don't you study, go to school? Why waste your life, blah, blah, blah." So I said, "Nah, I cannot go to university because I failed, certificate. What school certificate are you talking about?" "Oh, they call it," then I realized I'm talking about British standard of education. This is America, man. You said for the SAT, they call it, if you can pass through, you can go through university. That's what he was explaining to me, And then immediately I asked him, "Does that include mathematics?" "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, forget it then." I can't pass madam. Forget it. I can't pass madam. "Oh, no, what's the matter?" So I told him the whole shebang, how I was tortured as a kid in mathematics for not knowing the tables, and stuff, getting caned and getting my pants lowered and all this in school. Torture, clear torture. If I was in America, I would have shot my teacher. But, but then he said, okay, don't worry, come to the university, I'll introduce you to the math counselor, and so on, but try. So I went and I sat and studied for a whole semester of mathematics. I remember his name, Mr. Armstrong. And for 3 tests, I made 100% correct. I was shocked. I said, this is all it is? Yes, it is all it is. What the hell do you expect? You know?
That's great.
Yeah. So, I went through 4 years. It took me 5 years because I was so enjoying, being in university.
Really?
I graduated. Yeah, designed my own degree.
Wow.
University without walls, they call it. Program.
Wow.
That was pioneered at University Medicine. Still have. I wish, now I would send a letter to them and say, hey, you should keep up with the result of your pioneer program that involved me doing these studies. Right? This way I have ended up, with stack full of journals, stories, blogging, and everything, all because of your program. The first trip I did was to England through the university.
Yeah.
Yeah, my program was Art in Quest of the Universality, the title of my proposal. At that time it sounds so, But now I realize that's what it is. You're looking for the spiritual side of universality. And this is where you have ended up so far. Still doing it. Traveling all over the world. And I first England, and then I went to Southwest, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado. Keep journals from them, took pictures, came back, wrote all about it, gave to the professors, got my, result. And then next semester I left for Colombia and Ecuador.
Really?
Traveled all the way through Colombia to Ecuador. Took mushrooms in Ecuador and float in the clouds, all these things. I wrote it. So anyway, after that, by then I had my divorce and all this. My son left for Germany with his mom. Where I let go, that part of my life I had to let go. I don't fight it. And then I came back. I went to Alaska 2 years in the Aleutian chain. Supposed to be commercial fishing,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's another story from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We had to find out. A friend of mine, we had a show. 2-man show at the Berlin Hospital in Green Bay. He was hanging up beautiful photographs of the sceneries out of this world, rocks that were colorful, volcanoes that were smoking. I said, where the hell do you take all this? I didn't know him before. Where did you take all these pictures from? I said, I go to Alaska fishing every summer. Oh, yeah. Can I come along? Oh, no, you cannot. You have to have a job there. The Aleutian chain isles, they don't have, it's very expensive. No hotel. One hotel, one horse town. I said, please, it costs you to go from Green Bay to get to Alaska. Right? So how you go? Well, I go to drive. I drive my car. Oh, can I please, if I get some money, can you take me? I was desperate then. I was leaving, I had to leave Green Bay. I was going crazy.
Very cold.
Anyway.
Green Bay, you're going from a very cold place to a colder place.
No. That's not right.
Really?
Green Bay was colder than Alaska. And find it out.
Really?
Yes. You know why? You know why? Because Green Bay sits on the Great Lakes in winter, and it's open. So the wind blows. When the wind blows across the lake, the wind chill factor can get to 100 below zero. Wow. And I'm not talking from fact. I'm talking from experience.
Wow.
Right? The pipes underground all crack, all your gas pipe and all this just go to hell.
Wow.
So, yeah. Whereas Alaska, where I was, in the Aleutian chain, in winter, the area is affected by the warm currents that comes out from Japan. So all you get is pretty misty rain and wind, but not so cold.
Wow.
Whereas in summer, it's the opposite. Although you don't get very cold, still it doesn't get very warm either. So I lived in the aluminum chain and a small town called Sandpoint, where they're fishing areas. And when I was fishing there, I was very lucky because, well, luck has always been on my side. I arrived there after 3 days of driving from Green Bay to Seattle. Stayed in Seattle for a day with the boss. I didn't know any of them before I get there, but anyway, bought a plane ticket to Anchorage. From Anchorage, we had to fly to Sandpoint. And I was $87 short for the ticket, so I had to borrow from my friend. So you talk about one-way ticket to Alaska. That's my story. I had no money to get back, no money to stay there for. So when I landed at the airport, the skipper was walking over, yelling, screaming, and then he said, one of the guys couldn't make it. I look up at the sky and say, Alhamdulillah, thank you, my Lord. So I got on the Iceland, the boat called the Iceland. And we were fishing for halibuts. I couldn't survive that damn sea. It was so rough, man. And big gales and all these. You see them in the Discovery Channel. People's fishing for, that's how it was. So I did paintings instead. There was a restaurant there, only one restaurant. I have people hang out. I went in the restaurant with the skippers, and so after we came back from 10 days of fishing, make a good amount of money for them. Sat at the end by the door because we were full of captains and all the fishing guys from the boats. They came in. It was 4th of July. Then the waitress was walking with 2 trays of pizza, large pizzas. She walked away. I look at her and I say, I am in love. I shouted, actually. You know me, right? I mean, sometimes shit that comes out of my mouth, right? Of course, I was a few shots on whiskey or whatever at that time. I'm in love out loud. So there's like 40 fishermen, all big and husky. Well, most of them after her anyway. She turned around and looked at me, right? With long hair and everything. And again I say, I am in love. So this one colored guy with long hair, filthy looking from fishing and all this. Everybody stopped eating and look. I had a strong fingers grab my arm under the table. You want to die, you son of a bitch? You want to die? He goes, Captain was holding my hand. After that, we went to the boat. They all had a good laugh on me, right? In the evening, I challenged them, I'm going to go see her. I was drunk. I was filthy. No shower. 10 days of fishing. Most of all, the smell. Oh, man, I can't imagine. But I walked up that road towards her place in the dark. A German husky, I'm not German, Alaskan husky, sitting on a deck there, slowly got up. He's about as tall as my hip, and taller maybe. Started walking nicely towards me. I knelt down, pick up a big rock. I said, I don't give a shit. Come. I was sickness of dogs. Because I got beaten in Green Bay, Wisconsin, about 2 inches from my balls. That's another story, right? A German Shepherd beat me in Green Bay at night. So I had this fear of dogs. That's another story. Anyway, he must have sensed, maybe because I was so drunk. It doesn't affect fear or anything, She retreated backwards, like it was like a slow motion movies, you know. They retreated, went back. I went to her room, to her apartment, one or two apartments only on the island. Knock on the door, and she opened. She looked at me. She stepped backwards. What the?
Mm.
I said, yeah, well, you know, I told you I'm in love. Okay. You go back and clean up yourself. That's all it was. It took. And after that, I was living with her for 2 years.
How many?
Eating the best food in town.
How many?
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
And,
What about the waitress?
Huh?
What about
That's
the
who I
waitress?
lived with. She owns a restaurant. She wasn't the waitress.
Oh, she owned the restaurant.
Yeah. We ended up living together. I made more money painting the boats, you know, on canvas.
Are you telling me you lived together with the owner of the restaurant?
The only restaurant in town.
Ha ha.
Yeah. We live in a mobile home. There was no houses pretty much. There were mostly mobile home. People bring up, you know, buildings from the south.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only one school, one post office, one policeman.
Mm.
We all became friends after a while.
Mm.
Then we traveled at the end of the year, travel all the way to Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, came to Penang with her. Yeah.
You and that woman?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Judy Panini.
Huh.
I went to meet her parents in Kent, Washington.
Mm.
Stayed there for a year. But it doesn't work out. When things don't work out, I become shit. I mean, it's like karma, and it works against you. It kicks you out. Move on, like, you know.
Mm.
That's how come I left. After that, I returned to Green Bay. I had nowhere else to go. I couldn't return to Malaysia or whatever. I never kept in touch with my family here. Nobody knows what was going on.
Mm.
So anyway, I came back to Green Bay and ended up living with the assistant dean of students, international student coordinator, beautiful lady. Now I think she's a lawyer somewhere in New York. But we stayed together 2 years almost.
Mm.
Yeah, my life, I would say, rotates on a 2-year cycle.
Mm.
So anyway, after that, it didn't work out. I was again back on my, streak, like my father, but doing very well in art. I was printmaker, There was a lady there, an elderly lady, about 60s, in her 60s. We used to work and chat together. One evening she came, we were both cleaning the copper plates, wiping away, and she nudged me with her elbow. Sam, I think it's time for you to go. I was shocked. I said, I looked at her, yes, you're right. Time for me to leave. I was total loose, drunk, and then living with an assistant dean of students wasn't good, for her image and so on.
Uh-huh.
So I said, okay, you go now. I mean, my son is being ordained in the Daibo Satsu Zen Center in New York as a monk.
Yeah.
And he wants to open a Zendo in New York. So you can go to New York, be with him, join him. It's okay. But later at night, that evening, she called me back. Sam, there's a change of plan. My son is not going to open his Zendo in New York. He wants to open his Zendo in California.
Mm.
And it happens to be in Corte Madera.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah. So, see, that's how my life was.
Corte Madera? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Out of Daibo Satsu?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Why didn't you guess?
Dennis Kelly?
That's right.
Oh, my
His
God.
His mother was Rosella Kelly.
Oh, my
Right?
God.
Rosella Kelly nursed me in the guts.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a great deal about Dennis. I knew Dennis.
Yes. That is
Yeah. So
Jumbo.
you go on. I won't say anything about him. You go on.
Anyway, he rented a school rooms in Kota Madera, right? 220 Kota Madera.
Yeah.
2 rooms. We converted into a Zendo. Worked together with his brother, Patrick. Cleaned the whole place up,
I met his
Perfect.
brother too. I didn't know his brother was with him in the Zendo, but
No, he just worked.
Yeah.
He didn't come and hang out or whatever.
Oh yeah,
They don't get along.
he was great. He was
wouldn't
great.
get along.
He did work for me at Zen Center in the Page Street.
Yeah. Anyway, Dennis and me were doing heavy duty yoga, He was teaching me guerrilla yoga. I call it guerrilla yoga.
Yeah.
Students would come and would do a lot in the evening. One day, one of the position on the floor, he wrenched my arm across and it hurts bad. I felt a real surge of pain in my chest, But it disappeared after a few minutes, and I thought nothing about it. That was New Year's Eve. I went home, woke up in the middle of the night. I felt like a heart attack, man. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't raise my body. I couldn't move my body. I was scared shitless. I thought I was dying. That's it. Nobody in the house. There was supposed to be like 4 other guys. They all worked. It was New Year's Eve. Everybody disappeared. I couldn't yell. It was too painful. So I was right there. Then somehow I could lean to the side. I was sleeping on the futon on the floor, right? Wooden floor. And I couldn't move, right? And then I look at the window, I saw a squirrel in the dark. At night, they were on a branch outside. I say, God, if this is death, I said in Islam, because I was still my mind was back to in dire needs. I say, Allah, if this is death, I accept it. I said it. And the moment I said that, my head dropped to the floor with a smack. Boom. I felt like somebody's, real heavy slap on my face to the floor. After a while, I don't know how long, but I heard this whistling sound from far. And it came closer and closer, and then I felt like a worm climbing into my nose. And it went in, and I realized it was air trying to get in. So I sucked in my breath, right? I was trying to help it, and I sucked in my breath. I'm telling you in detail because if I don't go through that, you wouldn't know this, right? You wouldn't. I'd suck in my breath, and this searing pain caught me again, right? Oh, I couldn't move again. My head became hung up between the floor about half foot up again, and I couldn't shift myself or whatever, right? As a little voice said in my head, look, breathing is happening to you. Don't struggle to breathe. Let it happen, right? And that's how it is. I took slowly, this chest kind of goes up and down. Slowly my body leans back on my back slowly by itself. I was just was laying there watching things happening, But I suffered for over a month. I couldn't even walk. And I couldn't go to work. I couldn't make any money. By that time, I was working with a British guy from Kota Madera. He works as a renovation. He goes around renovate banks, install the in and thought for San Francisco. Anyway, for a month I couldn't work. And so I didn't have a place to go. Dennis had taken me to Green Gulch before, when I first arrived, right?
Yeah.
I remember that place that you took me. I told Dennis, why don't you take me there? Try it, So I went there. Fortunately, Paul Disco was working in the shop. So we walked slowly up to the shop, and Dennis told Paul if I can stay here for a while to recuperate. Paul said no. Then I looked at her saying, please, I beg Paul, I said, I have nowhere to go, and I think this is the end of it, I don't know anybody in California, in San Francisco at that time, except Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eventually, Paul said, okay, stay.
What year?
Stay.
What year was that?
That was 83.
Oh, my gosh.
84, maybe. 83, yeah. 83, 84.
Wow.
Yeah. That's where I met you then.
Yeah.
Liars and Thieves. You gave me an album.
Oh, music for a comic book video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And so anyway, then I go make a fool of myself at Green Gulch, doing all the crazy stuff.
Like what? Like what?
Well, banging bells when people were sitting at the Vipassana retreat of Thich Nhat Hanh. Do you remember? You don't know?
Oh, yeah. You mean the way he would hit a sort of mindfulness spell, and then everyone. But he did that while people were working.
No.
Oh, he did it in meditation
They were all sitting
too.
in the Zendo. They were all sitting in the Zendo, 70, 80 people. And I was not going to the sitting. I refused to. I slept. And then I dreamed. In my room, I dreamed. Right? That was a beautiful dream. That was the dream that caused me to walk right off my room, go to the big bell hanging on the tree, and I bang it. Boom. And then did it spiritually, Don't just simply bang. Nobody came out to stop me or whatever, right? I was Yeah. Anyway. So remember David Lewick?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. We used to walk up and down Green Gulch and start yelling, right? Yell loud to hear the echoes of our voice. We would challenge ourselves, see who would stop the horses on the side of the hill. If the horses stop eating and they look up, that your voice have reached them, right? Tiny packs of horses. We would yell in the middle of the field. So anyway, when my dream was sitting in the corner by the pond, and we walk up there in the corner. Yeah. I dreamed that I was sitting there and then I yelled. And when I yelled, this whole mountainside of the Tamalpais all the way down to the beach start rumbling, and the hills start dropping into the ocean. I swear to God, that's what was happening. I was sitting, holy shit, in my dream, right? And then this voice says, oh man, Blanche is going to be pissed at you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Blanche is going to be pissed at you. Oh, and I got pissed too. I said, fuck, if I can drop a mountain into the ocean, who am I scared of, right? So I walked out, I went to the big bell, and I sat banging it. They were all sitting. After the sitting, Paul came to the door and knocked gently. Hey, Sam, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just resting. I can't click. Okay, take it easy. Lay down. Come out when you're done. That's all he said. And then nobody said a word about it. Even a few people came to me and said, hey, thank you, man. Thank you for that bell ringing, man. I was falling asleep. I was so fucking bored. My back was hurting. Many of our regular series in my group. Yeah, that was a great break, man. I was shocked myself. I thought people were going to be pissed, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Another time, we were sitting sashimi still. I started chanting in the Pali. Buddhang Saranam Gacchami. I was chanting, slow. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Rap Anderson, God, came to me. If you don't shut up, I'm going to... I said, fuck you. Rap and me never got along. The only person who never got along. Couldn't handle me. Yeah.
You say you couldn't get along with Reb?
Yeah. You know what the Japanese lady in the tea house said to us? Me and my friend
Nakamura Sensei?
Sensei, Nakamura. He's a fake. Nakamura Sensei said to us, Reb is a fake. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, she was tough, man. She was tough as nails. And for I got along with her all right, but I wasn't her student in tea ceremony or that chanting she did. But I'd relate to her. I mean, then I'd be a guest at a tea ceremony, and she was very strict.
It is. She's beautiful and she's not.
Yeah.
We used to visit her. She would give us these. People would buy her all this fancy Japanese cakes and stuff she don't eat. She give it to us. Me and Tsuyoshi, what's his name, Japanese kid, he was a mountaineer. I don't know if you remember him. He came to stay with us for a while, work out in the fields, couldn't speak English much. Me and him kind of become buddies. So he used to give a massage, and he would invite me along, and we would sit, chat away, laughing with Nakamura Sensei. So got to the topic of monks and abbots and all. That's what she said, Rabbi was a fake pussy. We both laughed like that. Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah.
I have the greatest respect at Green Gulch of Paul, for one. And then there's, what's his name? Oh, my God. The cook.
Ed Brown?
Ed Brown, yes. He's crazy, but he's okay. He's genuine in heart. Yeah. We got along very well. Yeah, he took me to his home in along the beach there somewhere. I have a great respect. And then Blanche, of course, Blanche is like my grandma, but I have a lot of love and respect for her. Can you be quiet? She called me. Can you be quiet? And, everybody's so embarrassing. I was making love with her. That time loud, I guess, with my later I got a son in Switzerland. I found out I had a son in Switzerland when he was 17 years old.
Where was he?
I met his mom in the Green Gulch.
Oh, what? Yeah?
Yeah. She left. Pregnant, I didn't know.
Pardon? Who?
Yeah. Remember Lee DeBarros?
Oh, of course.
That's who drove her to the airport. Sent her home.
Now, drove to the airport a woman named what? Woman named what?
Oh, my God, you called me there right there.
Well, all right. What was your relationship to her?
We were sleeping in there.
She what?
I guess.
She what?
We were sleeping together.
Ah, yeah, all right. So did you say did you say you had a son?
So much noise.
Did you
she got pregnant.
Yeah, with your son?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't know.
Oh.
She didn't tell me. She didn't tell me. I sent her home because I said, my life is useless. You see me. I got nothing in my life. But you have cured. You're beautiful now. She came there like a, Anyway. 17 years later, in the email, I saw, I'm so-and-so. Remember you were in California, Green Gulch?
Yeah.
So-and-so. He said, and then I said, yeah, I would like to meet my father. 17 years old kid on the email. So I said, yeah, welcome to the family. You got one older brother and one younger brother and a sister. That's all I said in the email. I never asked, how do you know all this? No, I said, I know, it's the truth. Sylvia, that's right.
Sylvia.
Yeah.
Mm.
She was, what was your wife's name, former wife?
Mm. And
what was her name? Your former wife.
Pardon me?
Your former wife.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Elin?
Yeah, they were good friends,
Elin and
yeah.
Sylvia.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Sylvia.
She's kind of tall, short hair, and everybody was after her, of course. Everybody in the Zen. I mean, most of the eligibles.
I was only after Elin.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Now I have a son in Switzerland. I went to visit him, stayed with him, met his grandparents, and my first son, he was a pilot in Dubai. So we arranged a meeting at his house in Dubai. So my son came from Switzerland. I went to stay with my son in Dubai, and we met three of us there. That's another story.
So, while you were at Green Gulch, that's at the time that Richard Baker left.
Just after.
What do you remember about him? Did you ever meet him?
Mr. Baker? No, I met him. I just saw him.
Yeah.
But I met his daughter, a young girl, a little girl.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's who I hang out with mostly. I know the stories. Yeah. So anyway, I had a talk with Paul about that. I said, hell, this place is going down to shit because of that guy. Why don't we turn it around, man? Put it back together on the board. That's what we did.
Yeah.
A group of us that was practicing. We were very serious. You were just coming in and out.
I was director there. I lived there from March 85 through 1986, and I was an interim director for 6 months in 85, and then in 86 they just let me live there, and I worked at Greens, and I was a little crazy, and I wrote a lot of music.
You were, yeah.
I wrote a lot of songs.
And I like you.
And I made an album in 86. Actually, that's when I did that album. You had music for a comic book video. I had just finished it when I moved there, but I had to do, get it into a record and stuff like that there. And then I did another one the next year that was totally different, much more conventional. That was great. They were really good to me. And Paul and Gloria were very good to me, too. And we would fight some, but basically are very good. And then Zen Center was so great back then. I mean, really, they let me just sort of go
I
through
know.
what I was going through that year. And then I was
Yeah.
the head cook in the city the next year.
Mm.
And they tried to stop it in the city, the officers, but they couldn't. I had too much seniority.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I met. And another one of my favorite guys there was Peter Rudnick.
Oh, yeah.
Peter was my closest friend there,
Yeah.
out of the Zen circle, you know.
He
Out of the,
eventually
he was
stopped
the,
smoking pot, if you.
yeah, yeah. He was the one that I was closest to most out
Yeah.
of the Zen. Yeah.
He and I were close, too.
Yeah.
We'd mainly
I
meet
remember.
down in the field where he
Yeah.
worked, you know.
I remember my son, who was studying in Berlin High School, visited me. And so his mom, before he came, told me that I had to talk to my son about drugs and stuff because the school required that. So I said, what the hell am I going to say to the kid, you know? I always like to get stoned. So, okay. So he came to Green Gulch. I was at Green Gulch. Told Peter, let's go for a drive, Peter. Took him along. He sat in the middle. We drove in his Peter's old truck, went all the way to the back, then took out a joint. I lit it, gave Peter, hey, Peter, smoke it, and gave it back to me. I said, give it to my son. My son jumped right out of the truck. He practically jumped over me and right out of the door, right? He doesn't want to smoke and all. I grabbed his jacket. He had this big high school jacket. It was heavy. I grabbed it at the neck and he fell. It was like a movie, man. I dragged him. He fell backward to the door and said, listen, if you can say no to your father, you can say no to anybody. That's the end of my talk with you on drugs. Now go. Peter laughed. He said,
That's good. That's good.
yeah, so that's being a Zen student, man.
That's great.
He mostly told his mom about it.
Yeah.
His mom is a real strict school teacher, you know.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, little things like that really, to me, as they say, the details, the devil is in the details, right? They say, it's the details. Yeah. And then there was Sierra, the dog that cured my fear of dogs. You know? Remember I told you being bitten by German Shepherd? Every time I hear clink, dog chain, my blood runs cold. Fear, right? Then Sierra came along at Green Gulch and hang out with me. Had this big sore on her lower back, and I healed it, and I put medication, wash it, took care of it until. And every middle of the night, we would run. She would lead the way, and I would run behind her wearing Gore-Tex rain gear and all this, left by my Japanese mountaineering friend. He left me all his equipment at that time. Yeah. And Sarah would lead me, and then we would run one circle around, down to the beach, up the hill, back down to Hope Cottage, and then away down. No,
Wow.
Some people know.
That's a long way.
Yes.
And Hope Cottage,
night.
that's really steep. You'd run up to there?
Yes.
Wow, that's
Nobody
really
knows.
admirable.
Until a few people know, like Terry Sutton. One day called me at the door. Are you going out running again? Yeah. I was like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And in the dark, no light. The only thing that I could see was this white fluffy ball in front of me. I would follow that. And then one night I went to the beach at Muir Beach. I sat down at the edge of the water, kind of felt a little sentimental or whatever, thought of my mother and so on. I knelt down and put my head on the wet sand. Sarah was running around. I can see her in the corner of my eye, running around. And then there was this padding came, boom, 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 came to my head. I was big breathing, hot air on my face, sniffing at my face. I said, oh, shit. I was telling myself, I am dead now, man. This guy is huge. A big dog, right? Was sniffing me. on the sand in the dark and near beach. Then from the corner of my eye, I saw Sierra, little fastballs running back and forth over quite a distance away, right? This thing, whatever it was, leave me and then turns around and walk away. And that's when I look up, it's a huge dog, like a baby horse, man, walking away. I can hear his footstep on the sand, and boom, 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 boom.
Did you ever see that dog any other time?
No.
I know what dog that was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking a really, really huge dog, about as big as you'll ever see a dog.
Yeah.
It lived on the ranch next door.
Yeah.
And his owner called him, God, I think he called him Pig. And he told me, something like this is my dog Pig. He likes to kill dogs. Anyway, that dog did kill dogs, if we're talking about the same one, at Muir Beach.
Yes.
And some people in Muir Beach killed it eventually.
Yeah, this came to me. This real, big face. I didn't dare move, man. That was my meditation right there. I didn't move a muscle. And I only glanced at Sierra and then he went away.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't after people. I think he was a Mastiff.
Oh. I was telling myself that thanking Sierra, I say, because of this old lady, because Sierra in that area is an old dog, right? I mean, I think because of her, this dog doesn't cause any problem for me. That was my connection, We used to run up the hill way out of the top and then sit and watch the lights in San Francisco Bay for a while, resting. And we'll be talking to her, and then run down. So anyway, that's a lot of stories at Green Gulch.
How long? What years were you there?
I think 83, 84, 85, something like that. I have my books here.
Yeah, I think my time there was almost all after your time, but I remember you, and it's true. I was living in Bolinas before I lived there, so I'd come in sometimes, or I'd be there a few days or something. And, of course I remember you. I knew you, but there was some overlap.
Yeah. I think you took me once to a friend's house. He has this, in the basement, he has this big organ, musician.
Oh, that's where I made the album.
Yeah. You took me there.
Yeah.
To meet him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Red Davidson.
Owen?
Red Davidson.
Okay.
Big redhead guy.
Yeah.
And upstairs was Scott, who died not long ago, who dealt cocaine to a select group of firemen, policemen, and people in the rock and roll world.
And like Dennis Kelly. Dennis Kelly spent 3 years in prison for.
No, he spent 1 year. He spent 1 year in prison.
Dennis?
Yeah.
Dennis, I thought spent 3 years. No?
Okay, I'll have to fact check that. I thought he only spent 1 year, which is a miracle. But Dennis wasn't like Scott. Dennis was a major LSD manufacturer and distributor in America. He was an important, and he dropped bags with $10,000 off in the office of Zen Center, and he was he was not close to Zen Center, but I knew him, and he was I was talking to him. I said, we need all this. No, I think it was Alan Marlowe. You remember Alan Marlowe?
I think this sound name familiar, yeah.
Well, Alan wasn't a Green Gulch person. He was city center. Anyway, Alan was an old friend of Dennis's. They'd been in India together. Alan's in Dennis's autobiography.
Oh, yeah?
Well, which has a good deal of misleading stuff about him and Zen Center. But anyway, I've got it on my I've got it on Cuke.com, my main website. I've got the book. I've got the part about it. I talk about what he says. I did it without being critical. But you can read.
So you send me the infos. That's Dennis's autobiography you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Look,
I never thought he wrote.
Just if you go to Cuke.com, CUKE.com, my main website, just write Dennis Kelly in the site search box. CUKE.
Cuke.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then you have his autobiography in there.
I have the excerpts from it about Zen Center.
Okay.
And I tell about my experiences with him. Before he went to prison, he had his last meal at Green's restaurant, Zen Center's restaurant. And, so I spent time with him there. I was the host. Anyway, I think the book says he only did a year, but,
okay.
Which is amazing.
I got it wrong.
Amazing. It's true because,
he's a kingpin.
Jesus. I don't think anybody should go to jail for LSD, but that people were. I have a friend who went 8 years to prison for manufacturing LSD. He loved it too. It turned his life around. And I've met other people like that.
The part I was telling you about with Dennis.
Yeah.
When I got sick, the opening day of the Zendo.
Yeah.
Dennis invited the abbot from Daibosatsu.
Yeah. Edo.
What's his name?
Edo Shimano.
Edo Shimano. Yes, came. And I was sick. I didn't go. But later on I went. I walked slowly, sick, and I was high on codeine. The doctor gave me codeine, V-codeine or whatever they call them, for pain. And I walked down there slowly and suddenly sat outside the door. And after a while I got in. I went, bowed to the shrine on the floor, pick up that stick that the monk used to hit people.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I went over to Edo.
The short one is Nioi. That's one. The abbot stick. It's short and it's sort of curved.
No, the long one.
The long one, that's in Rinzai, it's the Keisaku. And at Zen Center, which doesn't use it anymore, it's the Kyosaku.
I knelt down, pick it up, raise it over my head properly, and so I turn around, I raise it and smack it down on Edo Shimano's head.
On his what? On his what?
Head. On his head.
You're supposed to do it on the shoulders.
No, this time it was right in front of him. I brought it down, and he, luckily, being very good Zen teacher, maybe martial art artist or whatever, he raised both his hands in a cross, like a block, The stick wouldn't hit his head. And I had no intention of hurting him, but I was expressing my anger to the fullest I can.
What were you angry about?
About the fact that I was hurting so bad, and Dennis did nothing, practically nothing. Yeah, he said he's celebrating 40, 50 students in there who never knew the Zen or whatever. He invited his teacher over, and I was just restless. For a few days, he never even visit, never even bring food, nothing. So I was so pissed. I'm pissed because I was high on codeine and maybe even smoking. I don't remember, but because there was no supply. So I was in so much pain, I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk when I was at Green Gulch. So anyway, I brought that stick down right on his head, and he blocked. And I raised the stick back, bowed to him, put the stick back, and walk out. Danny was shouting from the car at the corner, Shamsul.
Yeah.
Didn't die. I hope he doesn't write about that. But and then next day, Edo Shimano, she doesn't want me to go to New York, Orlando. Doesn't want me as a student there. I just fuck that. Yeah. So, you see. Anyway, that's Rinzai. Deal with it. You want action in Rinzai style? That's action in Rinzai style. That then will never open after that for a while. Close it down. You know?
How long was the Court of Madeira Zendo going?
I don't know, a year or so, maybe, not even.
Yeah. Incidentally, Dennis had a BMW just like Richard Baker.
Yeah.
And
he drove me all the way to Oregon. Way into the jungle, into the forest, Redwood Forest, about 30 kilometers in. There's this huge mansion of his with a big pond in front. No houses around. Just a caretaker there, brewing wine or whatever. And we did yoga training there, the two of us. I imagine driving with Danny Skelly in his BMW all the way to Oregon.
Yeah.
Shamsul, he goes, Sean, what's the imperturbable mind? He goes shouting at me. What's the imperturbable mind? That's the first time I learned about Zen through, Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty cool though, Dennis. I admired him. He's pretty good, tough man, tough personality, everyone.
Yeah, he was charismatic.
Yes, that's the word.
Yeah.
As a Zen abbot, even, he's got the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died like a year ago or something.
Yeah. He died. He got cancer for a while.
Yeah.
Cancer of the throat. Yeah. If not for his mother, I wouldn't have been on the Zen trip. His mother was the one that got me. Nudged my elbow.
This is interesting. How much older than you was his mother?
Oh, at that time, maybe 30 years older, maybe 20, 30 years.
Oh, really? Wow. When you said she was 60, she told you it was time to leave, to go.
Yeah.
And she sent you to him. Far out.
And you know what happened when I landed first time in San Francisco? It's another story. Right? After packing everything on big portfolio of artworks, we didn't really amount to nothing after that. I had this big pack on my back, and I landed there, and I was at the entrance door to walk outside. The door slide open, and the weather was hot and everything. I was scared shitless. I said, what the fuck are you doing with your life, man? Where are you going to go? Right? I spin around practically to go back into the airport. Right? And I bumped into somebody. This monk, short, stocky, bald-headed Korean monk wearing his white kimono and all with a stick in his hand, right?
Yeah.
Bumped into him. I stepped back and I bowed to him. I said, sorry, and he bowed to me and we bowed to each other, and then his assistant came, white guy, or what's his name? So and some name or something like that. So and some name. He's giving the talk in Berkeley tonight. You can go there with him. Is that auspicious or not? That's the abbot. First time I walk out, right? That's Korean abbot. I have the article. I have the paper that the boy handed me of the lecture, in one of my sketchbooks. I still have it. I don't bullshit people without proof of what I did in my life. I have all in my journals. I'm looking for somebody who has the guts or the time or whatever to look into my journals and understand where the hell I've been and what the hell I've done. I have 4 kids, 4 children, 2 with me now. from three different mothers. First one was American, Green Bay. Second one was from Switzerland. Third one was from Illinois. The first one had a first son. Second one son. The third one had, we were married at Green Gulch, right?
Oh, what? Wait. You were married at Green Gulch?
Yeah, and the Zendo.
To whom?
Where were you? You were there.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember everything perfectly. Remind me. Who did you marry?
Nancy Bus. David, remember David Carlson?
Yeah.
David Carlson, so they were all living on 191 Hague Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met my wife.
Nancy, what was her last name?
Bus, Buss.
Nancy Bus.
Yeah, she was teaching English second language for UC Berkeley.
Huh.
And, down the road from Bay Street, right?
The
outlet. Yeah.
Right. When were you married?
89. Wait, I think 89. I have my son in 1990.
Well, 89, I was living in Japan.
Oh, okay. 10 days after we were married, she had my son. She was pregnant for 10 days. Yeah. So she didn't want to get married, but I forced her. She's regret for my son. That's the way California was. So,
yeah.
So anyway,
So 89. So you were at Green Gulch, 83, 84 into 85. And then where did you go then?
I worked for H&A Ship Service on the waterfront. It's a ship servicing company that goes around and service the battleships that come in and out of San Francisco. That, like their vacuum trucks, they go suck out all the bilge water and so on. So I was the supervisor for the tank operation, underground fuel tank disposal services. All these underground tanks that were leaking all over California, Nevada, all the way to South Coast, West Coast. Would bring the tanks to our place. We cut them open and recycle. I was from the bottom sweeping the floor, became my boss called me the yacht superintendent. But it was a big operation, a multi-million-dollar operation. So that's where I was after I left Green Gulch. And it was being at Green Gulch that saved me to be there, to be able to handle the waterfront mentality. People can't even write their name, came to work drunk, always stoned, and worked with the worst hazardous material, cutting tanks. Imagine what it takes to cut tanks that used to contain fuel and all this. And I have pictures of this, right? I say, if somebody wants to take the challenge to write about, I'm not talking shit. I got tons of books here, my journals, and I keep those pictures and the certificates and all that. It doesn't happen, I'll just dump it all,
No.
Life well lived.
Yeah. Sounds good. Wow. So you were in San Francisco how long then?
10 years.
10 years. So from 85 to 95?
But 83, 3 to 4, I don't know. In between.
Well, 83, you were at Green Gulch.
Yeah.
I just meant, all right. So you were about 7 years in San Francisco then, after you left Green Gulch.
Yeah. I left San Francisco after we went I left from San Francisco. We went to Japan with my wife and kids.
Yeah.
We lived there for 3 years.
What year did you go to Japan?
75. About.
Say that again.
75. I mean 95.
95. Right. I know I associated with you in Japan, or I associated a memory of you in Japan, but I couldn't remember if we met there or not.
No,
we didn't. Yeah, I was already back.
Where were you in Japan?
Living in Okayama, living next door to Sogenji, where they have it, Shodo Harada. We had very close friends in Kyoto, and I had some contacts in Tokyo and had spent time there and other places. Yeah, it was. What'd you do in Japan?
Pretty much mostly art. My wife was teaching. I took care of the kids at home, and in between, I'd go to the Museum of Fine Arts, Miyagi Museum of Fine Arts. They have a program called Open Studio for public. They can use all their equipment and stuff, and got help. So I spent mostly 3 years there. I had 6 solo exhibitions in Sendai.
Oh, where was this? Sendai?
Sendai, yeah.
Oh.
You know Sendai?
Not really.
You know where the Fukushima tsunami.
Yeah.
That's in Sendai.
Yeah, I never spent time up north there. Wow. Yeah. And how'd you like Japan?
Malaysia.
How'd you like Japan?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, if I stayed longer, I most probably become a, what do you call them, expat.
Yeah.
Because my wife speaks and writes Japanese, teaches Japanese too.
Oh. Now,
Yes,
what's this wife's name?
This one is Nancy, the one I married.
Same one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, her 2 kids are with me now. 30, one is 30, and the other 31.
How long were you with Nancy?
Can remember 91 to 08.
No, you said you got married in 89.
89, sorry. I went, getting mixed up now. 89 to, she passed away in 08.
Oh.
She passed away in Illinois. She had Alzheimer's. Yeah. But she left for Illinois in 01, I think, with my 2 kids. But her mother couldn't handle the 2 kids, so she sent them back. I couldn't follow because of the September 11 thing. They won't allow anybody from Muslim countries to go back, to go in or out. Something like that. Very hard. Waiting for the visa was a pain, so she went first. And then she ended up in the home because she had they call it rapid dementia, and died there. So I never got to see her. Anyway, some things you just have to kind of such is, and Buddha says such is. What can you do? Such is. Take care of what is in front of you. So I took care of these kids, and they're doing very well. I still am taking care. So that's what I'm doing. When I say doing nothing, means I'm doing just about everything I have to do.
Yeah.
do the laundry, feed the birds, feed the cats, sweep the floor, do your dishes, cook the food twice, every day. Drive them to work, drive them back from work. These are the normal,
Now, where
what
was
keeps
this? Where you were doing that?
Eh?
Where were you doing that?
This year, now.
In
This is
Malaysia,
what I'm doing. Yeah, right now.
in Penang. All right.
Yeah. They both work in the same office.
When did
They
you
both
go
work
back? When did you go back to Malaysia, to Penang?
to Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
We went back. We came to Malaysia in 98. Yeah.
98.
98, yeah. 95, we arrived in Japan. 96, 97, 98. Yeah, in between somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
and
see.
then
So after Japan, you went back to Penang.
to Malaysia, not Penang, to East Coast, where I
Oh.
grew up. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That to me was a mistake. It was a totally Muslim country, very hard for my children. They couldn't speak English or they were mostly talking Japanese by then. And they're just like right out of kindergarten. So they have to deal with the rough bullying and all this. But they handled it. They're doing fine now. So,
Wow.
yeah. And I work as a safety officer for the petrol company that was building its refinery as a health and safety officer for 3 years after. Yeah.
Wow.
That's another story. I can tell you shit about this job too.
Wow.
It's just like H&H, I can tell you shit about this place, what happens. But I've count myself a blessing. I went through so much that even people listening to it most probably think this guy's full of shit. How can he be doing
No,
Yeah.
nobody think that. Yeah. And, you shouldn't think it either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all quite a circle. Your life has had many places in the world, many experiences, and you were always a very individualistic person. That's really interesting. What do you? I think we've done a pretty good job here. Is there anything you'd like to mention further?
Sorry?
Is there anything else you would like to add to this saga of your life?
Well, in my life throughout, I would say I have transgressed, hurt people, I have betrayed trust in some people, some good friends, and so on. For this, I cannot ask a personal apology or saying sorry to each of them, but I always ask for forgiveness for having wronged all the people in my life that I've wronged. That to me is very important because every time I pray, that's what I ask for. The people I have transgressed against in the meeting of people along with some in Green Gulch and some I could make up with, but some, most probably never forgive me for the things I've done, whatever. But that's my wish that I find forgiveness or I ask for forgiveness, And I never had any, I would say safely, never had any ill intention of hurting people. But things happen. For me, things happen.
Yeah.
I have some bad habits, some, ingrown bad habits, some childhood bullshit that I had to live with. Like the twin brother I have, being raised Buddhist instead of Muslim, all kind of crap that I had to deal with, Imagine being raised Buddhist in the school, what do people, Muslims say? They call me kapiak. You're not an infidel. You're an infidel. And then you go home to a house full of Muslims. All your aunties, uncle, everybody except you and your uncle are Buddhists. And they don't know about it. They each don't know about it. How did they find out? Because at the age of 12, Muslims got to circumcise. So my auntie has a son who's a week older, came to my uncle. Oh, tomorrow he's going to circumcise. Why don't you have this kid join him? And my uncle looked at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's not Muslim. Ask him. The cat's out of the bag. Right? These are the little, they say the devil is in the details. That's it. If you look into each story, each has got his own trail, right? Now, humans, we love to tell stories, they say. And it goes all the way. Yeah.
Hey,
so instead of...
Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
Instead of growing old, angry, and negative, and couldn't turn, into a drug addict, total, or drunk, or whatever, I decided to turn it around, right? Use this as Trumpa would say, as the fodder for the soil, That's what you grow yourself with. It's all this crap. Throw it in the soil and grow your compost, right? Working at Green Gulch tells me this. Working on the compost was one of my favorite things. Keeps reminding myself. Remember the compost pile? Green Gulch field?
Well, there were, more than one.
Anyway, so to me that was my lesson in turning things over, flipping things, changing instead of being angry and ending up an angry man, totally out of it. Could be a drunk somewhere or dead somewhere. I turn it around, go to university, put myself through college, travel all over the world, eat at the most expensive restaurant in the world in Dubai, and then sleep on the floor somewhere because I was homeless out of Green Gulch. Yeah. I've been up and down that road so many times, but I survived.
Yeah, I noticed in you posted something on Facebook on the there was a page there about Ed Brown's being banned from speaking again at Zen Center. And in it, you said very nice things about him, how accepting and understanding he was. But then you mentioned, you said some negative things about yourself and said eventually you were kicked out. You were asked to leave. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's, a lot of people are asked to leave when they feel, well, it's time for them to move on. That happens a lot.
That was not all totally correct because I was asked to leave by Paul, right? But he also say these doors are always open for you whenever you want to come back. So it's not I say kicked out because it kind of sounds more, dramatic something. But it was Paul who said, it's time to leave, And but the gates are always open for you. That's why I keep returning and doing the practice. It was not drab or whatever. They may have, demand that I be left, kicked out, but they didn't dare because of Paul. Paul made the final decision. And he just gently said, time to go. So I said, yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, yeah. A lot of unforgiving people there who believe themselves to be good Buddhists. I can point them out, but it's not my job. It's not I don't have anything to do with all that. It was just, shit in the wind, as they say. But I'm not a fool who's blind. I play my role. I play my role to the maximum. There's some of things I do, not many people dare. Yeah. I sat and talked with Katagiri Roshi one-on-one. I sat and talked with Thich Nhat Hanh one-on-one. I sat and talked with, Paul and all the others. I never sat and talked with Fred Anderson.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's
Mm.
see. Yeah.
Well,
That's all.
mm. Well, all right. Well, I really appreciate your talking with me so long, and it was very interesting what you had to say, and uh, I I appreciate it. I appreciate what you had to say, and I'm really glad to be reminded about you and some of these details,
Yeah.
and about Green Gulch, and uh, yeah, yeah,
So,
and Zen
is this
Center
going
was
on
very
video
good
or
to
something?
me. It was good to you.
Is
Yeah,
this going on your cube.com?
yeah.
Is this conversation going on?
Is what? No,
Is this
no, no, no,
conversation?
no. This
No, okay.
podcast will go up in a few months.
Oh, this.
Yeah, I'm way ahead.
Yeah.
I only put up one a week.
Okay.
And so
Give
I'll
me
let you
a
know. I'll let you know
heads
when.
up. Yeah, give me a heads up.
Yeah, I will. I
What's
will.
gonna happen? And I was in Ubud. Yeah,
What?
I was in Ubud.
You were what?
Ubud. I was in Ubud, Bali.
Oh, when?
Yeah, sometime I can't remember. I don't know, 08, 01.
It's changed a lot.
I have a journal of it, so I can always reflect back in the journals.
Yeah.
I made a lot of sketches in Bali, met a lot of
Yeah.
people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So again, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
And
Thank you. Really
it's
good talking
so
with
pleasant.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
So pleasant to be able to reminisce with you.
Yeah.
Of
No
the old days.
kidding. No
And
kidding.
maybe hopefully someday we'll meet. Who knows? You come here or I go there.
Yeah.
I might get lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I hope I go there, have a place to stay or something.
Yeah. You do. You do.
All right. Take care and come here and let me know.
Yeah. I will.
It's not that far. Hell.
Okay. Yeah.
An hour's flight or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Say hi to the lady if she's there and have a good one.
Yeah. You too.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, hey, thanks a lot, Shamsul. That's very cool. Enjoyed talking with you. I'm going to read you something he wrote about Edward Brown, for Ed Brown, when Ed had a little problem with Zen Center, namely being banned from teaching there. And so there was stuff on Facebook about it. And Shamsul wrote, so my teacher and good friend who accepted me unconditionally despite my unzenish ways. Ed, it is not a surprise to see that some crap never changes, even in the Zen schools. Our way or the highway. You were never a team player, but nor were you a hypocrite either. You told your stories as it is, and sometimes the bones are too hard to chew. We all live and learn. I was kicked out of Zen Center, but not banned from it. So that's what he wrote. He explains that kicked out. He just said it was time to go, but you're welcome to come back. He said he liked saying it that way. It was more dramatic. Anyway, so thanks, and maybe we'll meet again, Shamsul. This has been a Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur with Doggy Bandita and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.